Hey, welcome to another sunny day in the Hollywoods. Looks like it's getting ready to snow out here. Too much weather engineering going on. I've lived in California for about 50 years and I've never seen the weather getting crazier than this. It's just nutty. Meanwhile, we're going to talk today about Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto, the planet, slow-moving evolutionary planet that has to do with long-term changes in attitudes and it's a complete cycle. Pluto starts with something new, and by the time it's through with its transit, this one will be 15 to 16 years, it has completely wiped out and transformed whatever it went through. And it's going to affect each one of us individuals in a very, very strong way for 2 years. Then in 2 years, Saturn moves into the constellation Scorpio. So there's going to be a mutual reception. Saturn in Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn. That's Saturn conjunct Pluto. That's as bad as things can possibly get. So mainly for old people and people with problems with bones, governments are all going to be breaking like arthritic bones. It's going to be really a mess. Governments have a good chance of falling. You might want to convert what you have into some kind of wealth that will hold, and I really don't think gold is it. Can you imagine with the society falling down and you run into a restaurant with a gold bar and say, give me a sandwich? Well, who's going to give you a sandwich for a gold bar? They want to eat the sandwich. Anyway, to make a long story short, the way this is going to affect the various signs are as follows. For Aries, its 10th house has to do with business and the government. For Taurus, it's the 9th house. Has to do with travel, higher learning, sleep. Maybe sleep apnea might be a problem. That's a big, major problem with everybody now today with all the tension. Gemini, it's the 8th house. That's money from deals, so that's sex life. If you're working on making some kind of a deal, you probably could come out very well. And Geminis this year have an open door to show business, so you might want to look there. Cancer, this is 7th house. This has to do with your mate or getting a mate. It has to do with contracts. Could be dealing with lawyers. A lot of paperwork. Watch the boilerplate. And present yourself to the outer world. You have something they've been waiting for, and you haven't been giving it to them, so give it to them. Check your personal moon, and that will be what you're projecting. Leo, 6th house, health, your work. That's the president. He's going to have to get to work, and he is working hard. They put him into a game where he can't possibly win. They have all the strings controlled, and I'm sure that if he gets too far out of line, his plane will crash like the others. Like about 5 or 6 of the others that didn't go along with the gag. All of a sudden, their plane crashed. Even the Kennedy kid, he knew how to fly a plane. These psychotronic devices, especially the one at HARP, Jesse Ventura's been talking about it as well, could knock a plane right out of the sky. And that's pretty much what they did to this kid. Virgo, it's the 5th house. It has to do with your kids. So, you want to put a little effort into your kids. And also, 5th house is a good time. If you've ever wanted to get in front of a camera, now's the time to do it, Virgo. Although the demure vision of Virgo is, I want to be alone. All right, so 4th house is Libra. And you have a Saturn, exalted Saturn in your 4th house. So this is time to operate out of a home base, time to really get down with your mother. Be a good time to buy some real estate, but it's a good time now for you to go into business on your own, Libra. Now is the time you'll make it. Take a look at Venus in your horoscope. That'll tell you where to look for the money. Scorpio, this is the 3rd house. This is communication, and it's time for Scorpios to deal out their great wisdom, which they've been holding for years. This is the wise sign of all the signs, wiser than Capricorn even. And it's time to really get that out. Also, your relationships with your brothers and sisters, your car, your computer, anything that has to do with reaching out would be good. I suggest Facebook. I just put a page on Facebook, and it's doing fairly well right now. Sagittarius, the 2nd house, make money. Money's no stranger to Sagittarius. They invented packaging. They invented distribution. They invented importing and exporting. So Sagittarius, since this is going to be your 2nd house, your feelings, you might want to really fine-tune and polish up your spiritual trip. Do not fall into some established religion because it's quick. Capricorn, this is the 1st house. This is you. You've become grist for the mill that you built. You built a system. You profited from a system that's now falling apart in front of you, and it's going to be falling on you. It also is an opportunity for you to transform from the old Saturn Capricorn into a new Aquarius Capricorn, which means one who believes in form and structure but form and structure made out of rubber, not made out of stiff, old, broken bones. Aquarius, this is the 12th house. This is your subconscious, not your superconscious, which is your 9th house. That's Taurus. They'll be dealing with the superconscious, which is the connection to the spiritual life. This is the subconscious, which is the machine that runs you without you knowing it. So you might want to feed yourself one positive suggestion after another, have bright colors around, stay in the sunlight, take vitamins. You may even want to pop a Ritalin once in a while. You need to keep your subconscious creating things. Read the book Thought Forms by Annie Besant along with Clyde Ledbetter. They remote viewed the atomic structure in the 1900s before they had an atomic microscope, and they were able to draw it, show you the power of remote viewing. The government's using it and telling you they're not. Lastly, we have Pisces, the 11th house. Their objectives, if they can ever unclutter their mind with substances for long enough, they will be able to see the pathway, and the pathway is one toward really assistance to others in need. The only one thing that works in the Bible is that the spiritual forces commend us to help those that can't help ourselves. That is what we must do. Look at Los Angeles, 60,000 homeless people every night, and fat priests and fat ministers, fat rabbis sitting in their churches, stuffing themselves while these people starve outside. You call that religion? It's time to stop that as well. Teach reincarnation. This is the true way the universe works. Anybody with an IQ over 100 has known this throughout time. But take a look at the planet we reincarnated on and ask yourself, why did you stop here? Listen, I love you all, and I can't tell you how much I really love you for being on the planet during this particular point in history. And do something wonderful for the world. That's the reason we're here. We're supposed to leave it a better place when we go. Do that, would you?